Thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable CC Designs image called My Cupcake Twila. And I love how she has two cupcakes. Isn't she cute? I will put a link down in the description box of the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. If you have a question, make sure and leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Also, this stamp set comes with the girl and 3 sentiments this time, so that'll be super fun. You can change that up. So I've already stamped my image on Nina 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, so let's color. So let's start out by outlining our image, and for that we're going to use C00, and I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to start here at the edge of her skirt, and I'm going to go all the way around, and that just gives her a little something, a little shadow, so it makes it look like she's kind of popping up off the page, not quite so flat. And if I do it first, I don't have to worry about touching any other colors, and if I get somewhere I don't want it, I can just erase it with my Colorless Blender. So we're just going to go all the way around and back over this way, and we're going to go back over here and around her shoe, and then she's got a little bit of background showing right here between her hand and her shirt. Now let's give her something to sit on. For that we're going to use W1 and W00. So I'm going to start with my W1 and let's go right along here, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit past her skirt. And we'll come down here, and then we're going to fill in here between her legs. And we'll bring that over this way, and let's go up past the top of this little decoration on the heel of her shoe here. That little accent. And then we take W00, and I'm just going to brush right over the edges of that. Bring it out just a little bit more. And then I like to go back again with my darkest color, which was W1, and just do a little bit of shadowing. Let's do her skin next. For that we're going to use E21, E00, E000, E50, and for her cheeks I'm going to use R02, 12, and 11. I'm going to start with my E21. Let's start down here on her legs. And she's got just a little bit of leg that's showing right here under her skirt. I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in. And then over here, let's do a little dab like that. And then let's add a little dab of our E00. And then E000 to fill that little section in. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a yellow cast by adding E50 over the top of the whole thing. And I also want to do this little dot down here. And we'll hop up here and we'll do her arm. So again, I'm going to go with E11 first. And let's do, or sorry, E21, I guess it was. We'll go right along like this, and like that. And maybe up here next to her sleeve. And then for this arm, let's go inside of her hand and do a little dab on the bottom of her fingers. And come down here. And then we're going to add E00. And then we're going to fill it all the way in with our E000. And then I want to go over the entire thing with my E50. Add a little bit of that yellow tone. And that will help blend out the last of my little lines I've got there too. And then let's go up here and we will work on her face. So again, let's start with E21. And I'm going to do a little bit right up here on her bangs. And then let's do a little dab on the back side of this bang. And we're going to come down here, add some to her ear. Let's go. I'm going to fill in her neck, but then I'm going to go over here with her color for her on her neck there. Go over here to her ear, and then I want to add a little dab right here on her mouth. That maybe let's do a little shadow right here next to her eye there. Okay, then we're going to add E00. Let's bring this around the cupcake. I'm going to bring that right around over here again. And then again, brush on her ear. And I'm going to bring this color down next to her hair. And I think I'll bring this over here next to her, clear over to her mouth. And we're softening this side of her mouth. Then we're going to fill it in with our E00. And then I'll go over it a second time after I've added her cheek color. So let's add R02. And a little bit over here. And we'll add some R12. And some R11. Then I'm going to go with, let's see, E00. So let's bring our E00 down this side. And we're going to brush right over that cheek. Come around her mouth. And over here. And then we want to do the same thing over here. So let's go ahead and brush right over the top of this cheek. And then we're going to do E00. And then our E50 to add that little bit of yellow tone. And then after you got your face all colored, if you wanted her cheeks to be darker, you could go over those a second time. For the inside of her mouth, let's use E04 and R21, and then for her tongue, we'll use R11. So I'm going to take my E04 first. And I'm just going to flick away from the edge of her mouth, out to about the middle of her tongue. And then I'm going to fill it in with my R21. I want to make sure to go over that E04 so we add some pink. It's not quite so purple. And then I'll do her tongue with my R11. And I think I'll add a little bit of shadow here with my E04 on the edge of her mouth. I'm just going to draw a little line there. And then I'm going to give her a little bit of a pupil for her eye. And I colored in her eye, so let me find my Colorless Blender here real quick. And let's erase. I'm going to push this out here a little bit. I don't want her eye to be skin tone. But I'm going to add a little bit of pupil to her eye with YG93. So let me turn her here a little bit. I'm going to take my YG93 and I'm going to touch down on the top of this black and come around and a little circle, a half circle. And I'm not letting it touch the paper very long because I don't want it to be a big, huge blob. Just a little bit of green there on the outside. And then when I got done coloring, I took my Copic multi-blender, or my Copic multi-liner in 0.05 and made a little line on the outside of that. For her hair, let's use Y35, YR20, Y21, and E50. I'm going to start with my Y35. Let's start over here on this little pigtail over here. So I'm going to do just a few little flicks away from this little heart. And then I'm going to come up from the bottom. And then over here, let's do a few down here underneath of her chin. And then we're going to bring it up from this. And maybe, let's bring just a couple of these stripes down. Okay, and then up here, let's come down away from her hat. That. And then up here, let's come down from this. And let's add a little bit of this right here, where it's kind of going in behind. And let's go, let's see here. I want to keep my hair going in the direction of this cute little bang she's got. So let's do like this. Maybe over here. And I'm going to bring this over just a little bit. More. And then we have a little bit right here on the side. And she's got a little dab. I better not forget this little section right here. And then for her pigtail, let's do a few little streaks like this. And then we're going to grab wire 20. And we're just going to add to our streaks. And then we'll add some Y21. And this one's going to be darker than a YR20. So we're just going to try to keep a few little streaks in here. And how about over here? Then I will take my E50 and go over the entire area. You can also leave some white in there if you like that look. I can never get mine to look the way I want, so I'm just going to swirl my E50 in here and cover it all the way up. Then I'm going to go back with my Y35 and just add a few little dark streaks back in. And I try to keep my pen more upright so that I just get some really tiny lines. For her shirt, let's use G82, G43, YG03, and YG01. I'm going to start with my G82. And I'm going to do a little dab at the bottom of her sleeve that's showing over here. And then she's got a little bit of sleeve showing at the top. I'm going to go ahead and just color that in because it's so small we can't hardly see it. And then we're going to bring this whole line around over here on her shirt. And let's go ahead and do underneath of her arm. And then we're going to go underneath this little wrinkle right here. And then for her sleeve over here, let's do a little dab right in here in the crook. And we're going to come up from the bottom down here. That. Then we're going to go with G43. Soften those edges. I'm going to fill in over here because there's not much space there. Let's go over here. And then I'm going to go with YG03. And I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. And I want to make sure to add this over here because it's got that yellow in it. And then I want to go over the entire thing with YG01. And then later, after I got it all colored, I took my white Sharpie paint pen and I added some dots to her shirt. And make sure to shake that with the lid on or it will spray everywhere. Alright, so next let's do her skirt and her party hat. For that we're going to use R85, RV34, R83, and RV32. I'm going to start with my R85. Let's start right over here on this cute part of the section of her skirt. I'm going to go ahead and color in this little section that's underneath. And then for the skirt over here, let's go like this. And then for this little section, let's do a little bit here in the center. And then we'll come over here. I'm going to go ahead and bring this color down next to her shoe and fill this little section in. I think I'll bring this side down just a little bit more. And over here, let's do this little stab right here. And maybe bring it down a little bit over here. And then I'm going to go over the top of that with RV34. And I'm going to pull down just a little bit past. And then we're going to add some R83. And then we're going to take RV32 and go over the entire thing and fill the rest in. And we'll go up here and do our party hat. So again, we're going to start with R85. Let's do a little dab here like that. And then we're going to bring this out just a little bit more. And then we'll come down here. And again, we'll pull it out just a little bit further. Take up a little bit more space. We're kind of keep it in a line here. And then we'll have this little dab right here. And then on the other side of the hat, I just want to do a tiny dab over here. That. Then we're going to add RV34. So again, just a tiny dab. We want to go over the top of our last color and pull out past just a little bit. And then we'll add our 83. And then we're going to fill it in with our RV32. Uh-oh, here comes my granddaughter Natalie. Now let's work on the accents on this little hat here. So for this, the bottom two tassels, this little circle here, and this bottom one, we're going to use V17, V15, 12, 01, and 000. So I'm going to make these ones up here at the top darker, so we're going to use V17 first. I'm going to go V17, V17. Then we're going to do a little dab down here on these little circles. Then we're going to add V15. And then a little dab to each of the circles. And then we're going to fill that in with V12. Let's fill in these circles. And then we're going to take V01 to fill in this top of the ribbon. Then we are going to hop down here for the bottom one. We are going to start with V15. So they'll be a little bit lighter. Each circle a little dab of color. And then we'll do V12. And leave a little bit of white there. And then we're going to fill in the circles with V01. And then we'll fill in the top part of the ribbon with our V000. Okay, for the top two tassels and this middle one, we're going to use BG 18, 32, 11, and 10. So I'm going to start up here with our BG 18, and we're going to give these cute little spots a little dab of color. Oh, I can tell it's really wet, so I'm going to pop the other end of my cap off. I must have filled it up when I was cleaning them the other day. I decided they needed a little maintenance. They were kind of sticky. Well, let's give that tassel a little dab. And then I'm going to give each of these little circles a little spot of our BG 18. And then we're going to grab BG 32 next. Just a little dab of that. And then a little dab on each of the circles. And then we're going to fill in this last section up here with our BG 11. And then the circles. And then we'll fill in the ribbon with our BG 10. So let's hop down here and do our shoes next. For that we're going to use N10, 8, 6, 5, 3, and 0. I'm going to start with my N10. Let's go ahead and we'll do this little section right here at the bottom. I'm going to fill that in above the stripe. And then I'm going to come up here at the top. And if you don't use your N10 very much and it's really, really wet, make sure to pop the other end off. You don't want to get it everywhere. And we'll go down here, we'll do a little dab. And then we're going to do a little of that right here and right here. Then we're going to add N8. And then N6. and then N5. And then we're going to take our N3 and we're going to go around the outside on these little stripes and these little lines on the bottom of our shoe here. And they're pretty tiny, so make sure to just barely dab your pen on those. That, and I got a little bit on the white parts, but that's okay. We're going to add our N0 and that'll kind of push it off. That. And now we're going to go with our N0 and we're going to fill in the rest. So let's go ahead and just do a swipe over the bottom of her shoe. Nothing fancy. Whoops. Let me grab N3 again. I forgot I was going to do these lines right here on her shoe. Like that. Then we'll grab our N0 again. Let's do the sole and this little white section of her shoe. And then we'll go down here and the same for the shoe. Fill in each of those little sections. For the socks, let's use C1, C00 in our Colorless Blender. So I'm going to use my C1 first. And we're going to do a little dab of that right here along the bottom. Same for this side. And then we'll do a little dab of C00. And then I'm going to take my Colorless Blender and just kind of wipe on the edge of that color. Just soften it up just a little bit. And then right here, I have forgotten part of her skirt. So let me grab, let's see, R85. I missed that. I thought that was part of her shoe, evidently. So we'll do R85 and RV34. And just color right over the top of that. So that leaves us with the cupcake. So let's do the wrapper first. For that, we're going to use N3. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to take my N3 and go down each of these lines that are already there. Same for this one. Let's just go right on that line. And then I just left the rest like it was. And then for the cupcake, and underneath the frosting, we're going to use E31 and E30. And I'm just going to take my E31 and go underneath my frosting on both ones. And then I'm going to fill the rest of that in with my E30. And then for frosting, we're going to use E44 and E43. So let's do E44 first, over here, and then again we'll fill that in with E43. And then for the cherry, we're going to use R29 and R22. So we'll do our R29, and then we're also going to use, she's got this little heart up here in her hair. So let's go ahead and color that a little bit. And then we're going to fill it in with R22. Completely forgot about the little heart up here. And then we're going to also fill in the cherries. So there is our beautiful My Cupcake Twila all colored up. Didn't she turn out cute? Then again, here is my finished card. So again, I took my Sharpie white paint pen and I added some dots to her shirt. And then I used some stickers, glitter glue, and Stardust for the tassels, the little dots here, this heart, and the cherries on her cupcakes. I also did some Spica glitter pin in her hair to add some sparkles. And then again for her eyes, I used my Copic multiliner in 0.05 to draw the outline on the outside of the green there. Then on the cupcake wrapper down here, I used some Ranger Distress ink and walnut stain to just distress it and make it the lines and the embossing show up a little bit more. The frosting here for this cupcake is popped up, along with both of these balloons are popped up just a little bit. Otherwise, the card is flat. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I will make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.